Although highly debated, the Battle of Fort Sumter was chronologically the first attack of the Civil War. Other battles to make note of were the battles of Philippi and the Battle of First Bull Run, which involved nearly 60,000 combined soldiers. As we see here, Fort Sumter is located just off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina, in the Charleston Harbor. As we zoom in on the harbor itself, we can see exactly where the fort is located and why it would be such a valuable asset to both sides. Located right at the entry port of the harbor, Fort Sumter was the only way in and the only way out. For years and years, the United States Army controlled the fort. Shortly after President Lincoln was elected, South Carolina seceded from the Union and began positioning itself for a takeover, as we can see here by the Confederate strongholds written in red. On April 13, 1861, the Confederate Army launched a surprise attack on Fort Sumter. The attack itself lasted for a total of 33 hours and consisted of attacks from the land and sea in all directions. Fort Sumter was nearly an impenetrable fortress that was constructed after the War of 1812 when the U.S. was criticized for having a weak coastal defense. The fort withstood the onslaught of cannon fire, but Union General Robert Anderson realized that there was no way out other than to surrender. On April 14th, General Anderson gave the order of surrender and boarded all of his men onto a ship heading north. The only casualty at Fort Sumter came after surrender. The Union was performing a 100-gun salute and a soldier was accidentally shot. After the takeover of Fort Sumter, several other states saw this as a turning point for the nation and also seceded from the Union. The Confederate states at this time totaled 11 and felt like this would be an easy war to win. Or would it? Dun dun dun. Today, you can visit the Fort Sumter Monument in Charleston, South Carolina, and even book a ferry out to the original fort location, where much of it has been rebuilt to resemble the way it looked in the 1800s. If you would like to know more about the Battle of Fort Sumter and the engagements to follow, please click on one of these links. Thank you very much for your time.